welcome to the Real Estate SpeedCast. This is episode 16, and I am super excited to let you know that the Rocket Redfin acquisition is happening in less than 2 weeks, July 1st, hopefully. Juan?
Yes, Juan Castro here, also with Redfin. And yes, that is true. I was just in Detroit with the council of Redfin, meeting with Rocket to get a little taste of what is coming.
Okay, so don't be so humble. So the council is the top
It's agents.
for the nationwide for Redfin, and you're part of that council.
Yeah, it's a group of 15 to 20 agents,
Yeah,
uh, based on all kind of different criteria from
right.
what I can tell. It's not just production. It
Yeah.
looks like all type of criteria. And basically the goal of us on the council is to give Redfin, the executive level, a touch on the ground of what's going on.
Right. So you're
Um,
looking for all of us here at the local market level and bringing those concerns or suggestions right up.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of advocating for correction or changes, things like that, things that we might need in our markets because
Right.
they're so unique in certain ways.
Yeah. And you were able to go to Detroit, which is the headquarters for Rocket.
Yes.
And that,
Rocket companies, which, wow, they manage, control, operate, probably from what I can tell on the surface, 50 to 100 companies, maybe more.
yeah, like I use a couple of their things. I think I told you I use Rocket Money. I have that app on my phone.
Okay.
And I'm
Yeah, I didn't even see,
cool.
I didn't even know about that one.
Okay, so download it. It's really cool. So today I get a notification from them to say I'm $28 over my spending from last month. Like it tracks everything I do. And all I'm thinking is I bought shoes on Monday and I shouldn't have, and I wouldn't have been over my spending. But I'm
Yeah, it kind of
obviously
reins you in.
unusual. Anyway, so let's get back to this acquisition. So,
Okay. Yes.
so we're gonna
So
be
I think,
Rocket. No, we're gonna be Redfin powered by Rocket. So we're taking a rocket ship.
yeah, that's what it looks like. They love the Redfin brand. They love the name.
Yeah.
They love the presence that we have in the public, like in the public domain. So they don't want to change anything with
It looks
that.
like a household name, right? Like, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
scrolling Redfin. I'm searching Redfin. It's like scrolling Facebook now, right? For
Yeah, yeah,
name.
yeah. Yeah,
So
we have a good real estate brand. They really like that. They were attracted
yeah,
to it. A matter of fact, the CEO of Rocket was one of the first users of the Redfin app when it came out.
that's cool.
So he's always leaned toward the Redfin app
Right.
and our processes online. And he's
Right. Most
always
people are
wondered
either
what he
searching
can do.
Redfin or Zillow, right? And you're getting similar information. Or I think our website is more user friendly, but that's me, that's what I'm used to.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. But I think the biggest shocker for me was so you land in Detroit.
yeah.
You go to the meeting, you share the morning with them, you have lunch with them, and then they tell you they're going to give you a tour of the immediate city for like 2 hours. And you're wondering, why am I touring the city for? Like, Detroit is very different than what I thought Detroit was. I mean, it's pretty lively. It reminded me of like St. Augustine for Florida.
Really?
Like everyone walking around at night,
Mm, I think I would expect it
dining.
more New Yorkish than St. Augustine, no? I mean, I've
It
never
was
been. I don't know.
I mean, I've been to New York a couple times during different times of my life, and New York can be up or down in how you feel when you're there.
Yeah.
And the same with like Chicago or
Right.
LA.
That's what I was thinking. More like that than more St. Augustine. But like I said, I've
It
never been.
is like that, but the feeling I got was St. Augustine. I felt totally safe. I
Yeah.
felt like I could go almost anywhere. The level of service was super high.
Oh, okay.
And probably 50% of the people on the street walking were wearing Rocket badges or Rocket shirts or had some
Really?
connection to Rocket,
I
which
didn't
was
know any. I didn't
overwhelming.
even know
Almost
Rocket was based out of Detroit. I had no idea.
Yeah. So we do this tour and they take us building to building. And we see all the history of Detroit, like all of the old vaults from the 30s and the 40s and the safe rooms and the old speakeasies and all that stuff, right?
Wow.
Then at the end, they show us this huge model of basically 20, 30 blocks of downtown Detroit with green on the top of the roofs of probably 40% of the buildings.
What's the green on the
And
top?
they teach us that Rocket owns all those buildings.
So they put green on the top of all the buildings that they own.
They did it in the model so we could identify which buildings they own
Oh,
versus the buildings they don't own.
okay, gotcha.
And the whole pretense of why Rocket bought a lot of Detroit out of bankruptcy when it went into bankruptcy years ago was they wanted to revitalize the city.
Right, right,
And that really makes you feel different about a company
right. Doing,
when they want to go in and take the community and bring it back up.
yeah, yeah, I love that. Now,
So it's a shocker.
yeah, it's nice to see that, like you're visually seeing all that, and that's super. How was,
Yeah, and they did the same thing for Cleveland. So I've not been to Cleveland, but supposedly, from what I understand, they did a similar scenario in Cleveland because the owners of Rocket also own the Cleveland Cavaliers.
oh, okay, that's interesting. So they own a lot of things, and then now Redfin, Mr. Cooper soon.
Yeah,
I don't know what else.
yeah.
I heard, and I don't know if it's true, so who told me this? I forget who told me this. So whoever it is, if you're watching, tell me. The person that, oh, one of my customers that's listing their house next week. The person that designed the app, which is now Rocket Money, is somebody that he knew, and they sold this app to what is now Rocket Money for like a lot of money. Like just this one guy
Wow.
designed this app, which has all your information, your banking, your spending, it tells me when like your paycheck's coming Friday. I'm like, well, thanks, Rocket, because I was confused. Now I know when my paycheck's coming, but
Yeah.
it tells me everything, how much is in my accounts, like how much I'm spending over last month, if I'm well over or well under what I'm saying. It tells me what I'm saving, what my credit cards are. It's all like in one place, which is super. So this one guy
Yeah.
developed this app and then Rocket bought it to create Rocket Money, which was great. Anyway, that I found out yesterday. What I want to know, well, a couple things. How cool is the actual Rocket office? Like you went to the office building, is it, what's that like?
Oh, it's amazing on how they operate. You could just see how efficient their processes are, and I think that's the key, is that from what I can see, I mean, when you control all these companies, you have to be very efficient and you have to really move side to side super fast with the
Right.
marketplace, right? So I could kind of see that. I mean, they are over the top on all of the AI, machine learning, anything to make the process softer and simpler for the other side, the customer,
Right.
always benefits them as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
So they
They're
just
moving
do
along
it.
at
They
this
just
time where we're all going, AI and robots. I don't know.
yeah.
How are
Yeah,
the people?
they're
How was
pretty
the
far ahead
culture
of
when you
that.
walked in? Like, so you walk into this, I'm assuming pretty large office building. How did you feel the culture was? I'm curious because they're going to be, technically our new bosses or whatever, but
It felt so similar to Redfin times 10.
okay. Because I'm here,
I
I
mean,
have Redfin. It's the best management, and I'm going all the way up to corporate that I've ever worked
yeah,
for. And I've
yeah.
worked for some large companies. I won't name them, but Redfin happens to be the best. Um,
Yeah, yeah. And I can tell you when we walk into these offices, people made comments like, "We've been waiting for you guys. We've
really.
been rooting for
But
you
you felt
guys."
welcome. You felt like they're
Oh,
excited to have Redfin as part of their team.
some of them heard we were at our evening, like our departure party. We had a pizza party at a really local Detroit
How's
place.
Detroit pizza?
It
And
was
there's lots
super
of pizza
nice.
place.
Mott's, Mottz, something like that.
Yeah,
But here's what was cool. So we're all there. Redfin people are there. Some of the Rocket people that were doing the presentation with us, they came to share time with us.
yeah.
But here's what cool. Some of the Rocket employees found out where we were going to be, and they came over to say hi and hang out with us.
Oh, that's cool.
Who
That's,
does that?
yeah, I love that. But you didn't answer. I love pizza. How is Detroit
Oh,
pizza?
I had it twice in 2 days.
Okay, so it's good pizza.
Very good.
All right, because I'm going to go on a pizza tour of the US.
Oh, yeah, well, you definitely got to go there.
Okay.
Chicago, there, New York. You definitely got to go to those three.
All right.
Just
So
doing
now,
one day at a time.
yeah, the big, big, big question I have.
Yeah.
What does this Rocket Redfin acquisition, how is it going to benefit the consumer? That's a big question. That's what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways. I think at the end of the path, the goal is to have a cycle or a circle where everything for the customer can happen in one ecosystem.
Okay.
So the real estate, financial instruments of mortgage, refinance, home equity lines, whatever those are, and then the loan servicing.
Right.
And
Mr. Cooper.
yeah, and Mr. Cooper is pretty interesting because what Rocket's been able to figure out is that they're going to be able to use AI to determine when might be a good time for a customer to refinance. And
Yeah.
they will actually reach out to the customer and offer the refinance when the timing is right mathematically.
Yeah, so that's great. And I know that they're using AI. I'm going to bring up Rocket Money again. They have all my financial information and my credit score. They know how much my bills are. They know how much I'm getting paid. They know what my debt to income is, right? On
Yeah.
they know all that. You don't think they're going to reach out to people on Rocket Money and say, "Hey, it's time for you to buy a house."
Yeah. Or why haven't you bought a
Why
house?
haven't you bought a house? Or do you own a house? Like
Yeah.
with that question on there. But think about it, they have all my information and they can do that. But is there going to be a financial benefit? Everybody
Yeah.
wants to know. Is there going to be a financial
Well,
benefit?
yeah.
Use Redfin and Rocket Mortgage.
Uh,
Can we?
Immediately, there absolutely will because they've already told us what's probably going to be coming.
Right.
So we can disclose that, but it won't begin until the acquisition's completed, which is July 1.
So we can't disclose what it's going to be. Or we
Well,
can.
we can disclose what they're saying it's going to be, but
That's
we
what I
can't
thought.
actually perform it. We can't actually tell customers they're going to get it
Right.
until we hit
Until.
July 1.
But so let's just
But
get
this is just
some
on the surface.
overview of what it could be. It could be that Rocket will cover some of the closing costs.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be that they may get a lower interest rate, at least for the first year, one or the other.
Yeah.
That's what we're being
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, what it's going to be is if a customer is buying with Redfin
Yeah.
and they're working the mortgage with Rocket,
Okay.
they're going to be given an option, a benefit of a 1% buy down for the first 12 months on a purchase,
Okay.
or if they don't need to do a buy down, Rocket will be able to give that buyer up to $6,000 to help them close for closing costs or prepaid items.
Right. Which is huge, right? So that's similar to what new
The
construction
builder,
doing this forever, right? So if you buy a home with us, let's say Pulte, okay? Let's just use Pulte. I don't know. If you buy a home with Pulte and you use our lender, we're going to cover whatever in your whatever the incentive is at that time. All the builders.
yeah.
So why can't we, right? It's awesome.
Well, we can now.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we
not
can now. So what my thing is it's like taking the builder product from a community
yeah,
and making it available to
every
the whole United States,
yeah.
basically.
So that is, I mean, that's beyond super that
It
we
doesn't cost the customer anything. It's actually a benefit to the customer. They're still going to get the most aggressive rates
yeah,
from Rocket. They can shop those rates and verify that. But also you have to imagine that you connect that benefit of 1% off the first 12 months or up to $6,000 in closing credit.
Right,
And then you add that to possibly someone like me or you getting an additional credit from the seller
right.
just based on the current market, right? So if we get, let's
Like
say
if
we
I
get
say,
an
okay,
extra,
let Rocket buy down your rate for a year. Now let's ask the seller to pay your closing costs. Now we have both covered, right?
now we have both covered. Or let's say we get enough to where we get like a $15,000 credit on a $400,000 house, which is pretty decent, significant, right?
Yeah, of course.
We let Rocket know they're already buying the first year down. What if the customer wanted to supplement it by buying the second year down
Right,
and then using a little bit of the remainder toward closing costs?
right. Yeah.
So
Maybe a
it's very
permanent idea. I
creative.
mean, I don't know. I don't know what that looks like or a 3-1. And we've talked about all the buy downs before. But yeah, so we can get them that extra money to supplement that.
I can tell you it looks good compared to what it looks like without it. So it's
100%.
gonna it's gonna be quite
You're buying a house
quite
anyway.
good. And
Why
then
not use Redfin and Rocket? Redfin powered by Rocket. I love that.
yeah, yeah. And then you have to imagine, so we have sign and save, which gives us a little bit of a discount when we negotiate the buy side commission with the sellers, right?
Yeah.
So that we can do that as well. That will be still rolled in there. But here's the kicker. A seller wants to sell with Redfin.
Oh, I forgot about that part, right? It's not just for buyers. I mean, it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not.
Well, there's two things that are important to think about. So a seller wants to sell with Redfin. We have a very competitive listing product,
Right.
whether it's our entry level product, which is Trip the Light Fantastic,
Yeah.
or we have Concierge, which is a little more targeted, a little more robust,
Right.
but still super good, and still way more competitive than the traditional marketplace, right?
Yeah.
So they get that benefit. And then when they go to, you have to think about they buy with Redfin. Let's say the commission was 1.5% on the listing side.
Right.
They go to buy with Redfin. Now they get sell to buy. So they get a rebate of 0.5% at
Right.
closing. So
And
they get
they
the
use
half of a
Rocket to buy
percent.
their new home.
They get the Rocket benefit
Yeah.
and they get the sign and save benefit on a purchase. So
And
they save on three parts of the transaction.
just to use both of us. Now, also on our listings, right? So we have a lot of listings now. We
Yeah.
can offer that to the, even if we're not representing the buyer because we are representing the seller, and a agent comes, brings a buyer, we can offer them that if they use Rocket and purchase a Redfin listing, they can also get that
Yes.
incentive.
Yes, that'll extend to all of the Redfin listings
Yeah.
where Rocket will be basically a preferred lender
Right. Yeah. You
and
call
they'll
preferred
get the same
lender,
benefit,
you're
the
going to get
1% or up to $6,000 at closing.
yeah.
So that keeps our seller from having to give the $6,000 credit
Right.
or buying the rate down for 1 year by
Right.
1%.
Yeah. Just use our lender. You'll get the closing costs.
Use
Yep.
our lender, you're going to get an automatic benefit.
I love this. I am so excited. And we are less than 2 weeks away, July 1st. And hopefully everything just goes smoothly and it does close on July 1st and we'll be able to
Yep.
out.
Yep. As soon as I can tell you their office was hustling and bustling on stuff. I mean, they already have marketing materials, logos, signage is on order.
Did you
I
see
mean,
our new
they are,
logo? I'm not asking you to reveal it, but did you see it?
it looks fantastic.
So it's gonna say like Redfin, powered by Rocket. We're gonna get like new
Uh,
shirts, hats, whatever.
Everything will update in our store. Remember our Redfin store?
Yeah,
They will all update probably July 1 or 2 with swag and gear and material. It's going to be
awesome.
quite amazing. I mean,
Time to an agent, huh?
yeah, yeah. It's going to be pretty interesting.
I am super excited. With that, do you have anything else?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. I think everyone should stay tuned
Yeah,
and just be
we'll
prepared for
update
the
them.
launch. Just
And
be
I'm
prepared for
sure you're gonna
launch.
see all the marketing coming out because I'm sure that rocket's gonna do that, right?
Yeah, I think once we get our hands on some of this stuff, we can probably share some of it so people know what they're going to be able to see in
Yeah,
the upcoming weeks, right?
yeah.
So it's going to be good.
Taking that rocket where? To the moon? Where do you want to take that?
Somewhere.
All right, let's do this. Let's get people in houses. All right, Juan, everyone, thanks for showing
Thank
up.
you, everyone.
All right, bye.